Okay, Republicans were quick to condemn the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, and they're drawing from a familiar playbook. CPAC Chairman Matt Schlapp blamed it on the deep state. Ronna McDaniel, chairwoman of the Republican National Committee, the RNC, called it an abuse of power that could only be stopped by electing more Republicans in November. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy threatened oversight hearings should Republicans regain the House this fall, adding Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar. Republican senators like Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Rick Scott, Marsha Blackburn, and Lindsey Graham have all decried it. Senator Marco Rubio even likened it to third world Marxist dictatorships. But noticeably silent, at least so far, is the Senate Republican leadership, including Mitch McConnell. So far, none of them have said anything. Joining me now is NBC's Sahil Kapoor on Capitol Hill and Mark Caputo, senior national political reporter. Sahil, what can we make of this silence from the top of the Republican Party?
Well, Katie, in terms of Mitch McConnell, he is in a position where he doesn't want to defend Donald Trump, but he also doesn't want to offend Donald Trump. We know that he had a very public break with the former president after he criticized him, held him morally responsible for January 6th. But McConnell also needs Trump's voters to turn out in the midterm elections if McConnell is to achieve his goal of becoming majority leader and capturing enough seats in the Senate to regain that top position. Now, we are seeing anything but silence, the opposite of silence really from House Republican leadership, Katie. As you noted, Kevin McCarthy came out strongly in defense of Donald Trump, effectively without saying the former president's name, promising investigations into the Justice Department over this. And we also know that Donald Trump is expected to meet tonight with a group of about a dozen House Republicans led by Jim Banks, who is the chair of the Republican Study Committee. It's a group of about 150 House Republicans who identify with the conservative wing. We don't have a readout of exactly who's going to be there, but broadly this comes as we're seeing a major coalescing within the Republican Party around Donald Trump. That includes some who are on the outs of Trump world, like Vice President Mike Pence, who was pushed out after he refused to go along with the plot on January 6th. That includes Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, who's being drafted, encouraged by some conservatives to challenge Trump in 2024, going along with that narrative that this is a politically motivated move by the Justice Department, which is not something that we have evidence for. I want to be very, very clear about that, but that is the emerging narrative on the right as we speak.
So, Mark, let's talk about what this means for 2024. Here's Lindsey Graham talking about a conversation he had with the former president, Donald Trump, today.
I talked to the president just about an hour ago with Henry. The one thing I can tell you is that I believed he was going to run before. I'm stronger in my belief now.
So Henry is the guy standing next to him. They talked to Donald Trump. What do you think this means, Mark, for 2024?
I'd say believe Lindsey Graham in this case. You know, there were some people with whom I've spoken who had spoken to President Trump. They wanted him to fly down to Mar-a-Lago today and make an announcement, denounce the investigation, the search warrant, and then say he was running for president. There was more of a division in Trump world about former President Trump making an announcement before this midterm election. Some of that opposition has just kind of dematerialized, has disappeared. Those who do want him to wait until after the midterm, perhaps even after this calendar year, realize it might be futile. That not only is the president infuriated by this, but he's encouraged, perhaps paradoxically so, a lot of people wouldn't expect this, by the fact that the entire Republican establishment, I guess Mitch McConnell accepted, has rallied behind him. And that's kind of the rallying to the chief that you see in times when leaders are embattled, at least rallying to the chief from their own party. And that's certainly happening here in spades. So, yeah, it wouldn't shock me if we saw an announcement imminently. It wouldn't surprise me if it waited a little longer. But right now, former President Trump is really itching to run, and a lot of people around him are scratching that itch.
Mark Caputo from what looks like, or used to look like at least, the future, otherwise known as the Telemundo newsroom with all those monitors.
Yes, it is.
And Sahil Kapoor, thank you very much. Just to be clear, that was Henry McMaster that Lindsey Graham was standing next to, the governor of South Carolina. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.